everybody. It is Angela from Martin Library. I'm the Adult and Information Service Librarian there, and I just want to say hi to all of my patrons. I hope that you're doing well and taking care of yourself during this critical time. This is my little home, and behind me is my tomato plant, which I'm hoping to plant once there's no longer any threat of frost. So I have lots of juicy tomatoes come end of June and beginning of July. I'm here to talk to you about what I'm reading, and I am reading Eliza Hamilton. If you know me and you know my interest, one of my interests is American history. I have my master's in American history, and I wrote my thesis on Colonel James Smith, who signed the Declaration of Independence and was instrumental in the early Pennsylvania government and also the early American government that was just being created in the 1770s. So I love to look at the stories of these great men through the eyes of their wives. I have two books. This is the second one that I have on Alexander Hamilton. Right now I'm kind of in a Alexander Hamilton phase. But I'm looking at two writers and how they perceive the life of Alexander Hamilton through the eyes of his wife, and it's really a great story. Eliza Hamilton by Susan Holloway Scott takes and follows Eliza's life through from first meeting Alexander Hamilton in it would have been 1777 and up through his death of 1804. Now the other book follows a little bit longer into her life as a widow and her interactions with her children after Alexander Hamilton passes away. And I shouldn't say passes away, because if you know about Alexander Hamilton, you know that he was very instrumental in the American Revolution. He was one of the aides to George Washington, followed George Washington through, all over the place, through major battles, Valley Forge, the winter encampment in Morristown, New Jersey, the attack in New York, and after the war, he became very instrumental in New York, where he was living with his wife Elizabeth, and then he became a senator to the Continental Congress, which then became the Constitutional Congress, because then they redid the Articles of Confederation, which were signed here in York, Pennsylvania, by the way, and they rewrote it and came up with the Constitution. And one of the things that he was very adamant about was creating a very strong treasury to support the government and to make sure that the government would be funded in order to not only protect the new nation, but also to defend the states. So if you know anything about the early men in that the Constitutional Congress, you know that there were the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, those that supported very strong state rights and those who supported very strong national rights. And so Alexander Hamilton, he kind of fell more to the side of a strong national government, and he really believed that it was vital that if we were going to survive, that we had to have some common things, and one of those being the treasury, that we all had common money, we all had some type of basis for our money. And so every time you look at our dollars, you have Alexander Hamilton to thank for our treasury, and that is why he is on one of our dollars, because he was the father of the American treasury. And Elizabeth Hamilton, she comes from a very strong family, very political family. Her family arrived back when New York was a Dutch colony, and they came in through the port of New Amsterdam, which, if you know anything about New York history, you know that was the original name of New York City. And they settled up in the northern part around Albany, which is the capital of New York. And the Major General Philip Schuyler is her father, and he was under the command of George Washington during the American Revolutionary War. He fought alongside men like General Gates, which we have Plow Tavern and Gates House here in York. And she and her sisters and brothers were very politically involved. The general and his wife raised very strong-willed people, and Eliza is the second oldest child, and also the second oldest daughter. He had his sons are much younger, but Elizabeth becomes enamored with Alexander Hamilton when he was just an aide to George Washington, and he actually came to visit her family up at their house outside of Albany, and when she was 17, and then she later runs into him again a few years later at the what is called winter camp in Morristown, New Jersey, and she's there with her aunt, and she and Alexander start to court. Alexander, being the young man that he is, has quite a reputation, but he's very articulate, very intelligent. He speaks multiple languages. He's quick, very bright, and she's just in awe of this young man, and he sees the potential in their marriage as well. So they do get married in 1780. They produce 8 children in their lifetime, and this book just follows their marriage up until his duel with Aaron Burr, who at the time was the Vice President of the United States. Aaron Burr was the Vice President under Thomas Jefferson. And in 1804, Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr have an argument. It's one of those love triangle arguments. And Aaron Burr and him duel, which is illegal in the United States at that time. And so they have a duel with a pistol, and Alexander did not come out of the duel very well. So he leaves Eliza as a very young widow with 8 children. And but I like books like this because it tells of these great men through the eyes of their wives, and it also shows you what the women went through, and that's why they're also called the founding fathers along the founding mothers. Cookie Roberts wrote a book about the founding mothers years ago, and it was a great book because it really went through different women that you don't normally hear about, and Eliza Hamilton is one of them. She was very politically involved. She supported Alexander and the things that he did. She would translate, or not translate, but she would transcribe things for him while he was ranting. Like, he would talk so fast that he couldn't write as fast as he was talking, so she would write for him. And, the relationship between the two was just very romantic and very, they were a very good pair. They worked well together. And Eliza Hamilton, after the duel, goes on to live until 1854, right before the Civil War. And when she was 97, she outlived a lot of the founding fathers, and she goes on to tell her story in very different ways, because she stayed politically active in order to advocate for her husband's memory and all the things that he did during the American Revolution and the time period afterward. So Eliza Hamilton by Susan Holloway Scott is found on Hoopla as an ebook and an audiobook, and is also found on Access 360 as an audiobook as well. So use your library card, go check it out, and learn a little bit about American history while you're at home in this crazy, crazy time. If you're like me, I'm going nuts. Bye, everybody. See you soon.